Okay, so I'm gonna explain the duping glitch that I use. It's definitely the easiest, but it does also have its limits. The only thing you really need to be able to do most things in this case is an item frame, which is 8 sticks and 1 leather, which is really easy to get. And there's lots of different ways you can use this. The most common one, I would imagine, would be for blocks like iron and gold and redstone and coal and stuff like that. So in order to do it, first things first, go to your controls. You need to bind a pick block to something. I have it set to down. Put it to something that's easy to push along with another button, specifically the button that you have to change items on your hotbar. So you put item you want to dupe in the item frame, or actually, in the case of, actually I don't want to do it yet. Easiest way to do it and most consistent, well, not really most consistent, but just do it with an item frame. Most cases, it's easy to do. Just do it with an item frame. If it's a block like gold or whatever, you can put the block on the ground. Like I could dupe dirt right here. I don't even know why I got 2, but it's like, look, alright, there, I have 2 dirt. I'll get into that. I'll get into how you deal with stuff. Because stuff disappears and you're not supposed to have multiple of one on. Anyway, how you do it. So there's a block of iron in there. I have a block of iron in my hotbar. Take it out of your hotbar, put it in your inventory. Because you're looking at an item frame, if I press down, which is pick block, it's gonna, because the block of iron's in the item frame, it's gonna put out whatever position I have in the hotbar. It's gonna pull it out. That's what pick block does. If you push pick block and switch what position you're on the hotbar at the same time, it dupes it. Now is the tricky part. Now it's not like, I don't have 2 iron blocks. I do, but I can't just do whatever I want with it. See, I can drop that one. I can't drop this one. I cannot. I'm pressing drop. It's not dropping. I can't put it down. It's gone. If I go in my inventory then go out, it disappears. If I go into a crafting table or a chest or something you interact with, it disappears. See, I was holding it there and it disappeared. What I can do is go into the crafting menu. If I go out of it, it disappears. But while I'm in the crafting menu, what I can do with a block of iron, excuse you, is go to the iron ingots and convert it down to 2 blocks worth of iron ingots. So I got 2 blocks worth of iron ingots out of 1. And if I go to a crafting table, I need to bring one over here because I'm gonna do this a lot. Get out of here. And then I make 2 iron blocks. So now I took 2 iron blocks and made it 3. So do the same thing again. Put them both in there. Pick block and switch. You can do it. You can move it left. You can move it right. It's weird for me to do it right because you're pushing both buttons with the same hand with what I'm doing. But it works. Be careful to not, whenever you're going into the crafting menu, don't do it over the crafting table because it will load up the crafting menu and it won't work that way. See, they just disappeared. So that's really the only limiting thing about this, is that the only way to actually end up with more than what you started with is you have to be able to take what item you want to dupe and use it in the crafting menu. So this is an example, doing it with blocks and stuff is an example of actually duplicating. I'm doubling what I'm getting every time. And you can do this with iron ingots and make them in. So if you have 2 iron ingots, you put one in an item frame, hold one out, do it. You can turn it into nuggets and then duplicate your nuggets. So you can take 2 iron ingots into infinite blocks. Which is not what I did, because Duping from ingots to enough to make 2 blocks takes a while. But, I mean, you can do it if you want. So that's probably the most useful effect of it. You can do it with gold, any block that you can break down in this inventory area right here, you can do it with. Now, I'm going to get into other uses of it, because I feel that the other uses are going to be more useful in some situations. So I have a gunpowder and a paper. That's enough to make 1 firework. So I'm going to do it with this, and you can do it with multiple items, I should say. And if you mess up, you got to kind of redo it. So I have enough for... what's it called? So I could make 2 fireworks with this, but I don't want to. I want to be able to keep duping and make more and more fireworks. So I'm going to drop 1 paper and 1 gunpowder. And now I can make 1 firework. Or 1 set of fireworks. They disappeared. That shouldn't have happened. Why are they... That should not be happening. I've done this before. I've done this with wool. Does it not work with just fireworks? Huh. I might have to look into this. I want to find something else that I can do. Let's see. What can I figured the most useful one of these is going to be with ender pearls. So you take 2 eyes of ender and 2 blaze powders, and you can... I don't know where ender pearls are in the tutorial. I'm gonna go into creative and give myself 2 ender pearls. If this doesn't work, then I guess I was either doing it wrong, or I can't word right now. I'm thinking too much about why this isn't working, but it should work. Uh, 200 pearls. So again, to reiterate, you cannot use a block, meaning you cannot use a crafting table, you cannot use a furnace, you cannot use a chest, you cannot use anything like that. You cannot drop the fake items. You can only drop the real items and use the real items, which is basically what this is using. If this doesn't work, I'm going to be upset, because this should work. Okay, it worked. So I have 1 eye of ender, and I can keep doing this to make multiple eyes of ender, and I have 2. So okay, this is what I was talking about. I don't know why it wasn't working with fireworks for some reason. That was weird, but it's easy. This glitch is like, it's so free. All you do, you just, if you can push 2 buttons at the same time, you can do it. Oh, I didn't mean to make 2. If you do that, then best case scenario is just back out instead of making 2. I keep forgetting. Remember that if you're gonna do it with something like this and you want to keep duping it, you've got to drop the real item. And if you mess it up with you're doing like multiple items, see, because with ender pearls you have to dupe, or with eyes of ender, because I can't, like, you know, dupe 1, drop 1, and then mess up the other one and do anything with it. I have to redo it, because I need to have 2 of the, you know. So, I'm sure there's more uses of it that I'm not covering or not thinking of right now, but the main ones are definitely going to be, like what I did for the honor rail. I duped up like a couple iron ingots and a couple iron bars and 2 redstone blocks up to enough for 500 rails, and to be able to actually do on a rail. And more than that, I had a lot more iron left over. But you can do it for other things. I've still yet to work on other things. I know you can do it with wool, with string. If you have 5 string, you put 1 string in here, dupe it, drop the 4 real string, make 1 wool. So you get 1 wool and your 4 string back. Anything you can make in this, anything you can make in this crafting menu, you can do it with. As long as you're able to put the item in an item frame, which you should be able to, and drop it, which you should be able to. Anything in here. I'm thinking definitely the most useful ones are going to be Eyes of Ender. I don't think dyes would be useful. All wool is pretty easy. Wool probably for all wool. Actually, no, all wool colors bans glitches. Never mind. Books maybe for some reason. But definitely these and the Eyes of Ender are definitely going to be the most useful uses of this glitch. So just practice it. It's not hard. You just pick block, set to a button, and whatever is your swap to the next thing on the hotbar, just push it at the same. It's so free. It's so free. I could do it all day, except right there because I messed up. Anyway, that's how you do it.